Simon, you are the futurist of Unruly. Can you predict how and if Germany will win the Soccer World Cup?
Well, they're bound to, aren't they? They always do. You're asking an Englishman.
Okay, I'm just kidding. But there are so many trends around AR, VR, artificial intelligence. What are the most important trends?
They're all important, but the ones that I think are going to transform marketing and our lives more than anything else, I think, well, it's hard to say, but I think the combination of artificial intelligence and voice. And the reason I say that is I look at our relationship with mobile. I was in Stockholm recently at NextM, and this guy was saying that if you leave home without your wallet and you're 7 minutes from home, you'll go back for your wallet. But after 8 minutes, you're like, forget it, I don't need my wallet today. If it's your mobile, you'll go back even after 34 minutes. So our relationship with mobile's really evolved. And I think that we're going to have these little voice avatars, a bit like in the film Her by Spike Jonze, which is very famous. But we're going to have a relationship, this voice avatar that we ask questions, it makes recommendations, suggestions. It becomes like a friend. And I think even if you could leave home without it for an hour, you'd still go back for it. So it's a really interesting interface. Voice is a natural interface to deal with a computer, and I think they're the ones that are going to stick.
How should brands use voice the best way?
Brands using voice, I think it's a really early medium. It's a bit like saying, how can people use mobile advertising in the best way back in the year of BlackBerry? We're in the BlackBerry year of voice, so we can be forgiven for not really knowing fully how to engage with voice. But, you know, voice on Messenger, chatbot. If you look at what eBay are doing with the chatbot, where you can say, find me a Canon camera, up come the Canon cameras. Messenger's on 900 million devices, so that's not a bad place to go. Diageo are doing something great with voice. They've done this thing called Open the Bar. It's shoppable, it makes 60 different cocktails, it's a great function. So that's what we kind of look at. If you look at the trainline.com, that's on Google Assistant. Now Google Assistant's got the best NLP, the best natural language processing. And the Trainline, the ability to speak to it is so natural, it understands you so well. And so what we're saying is, know what you're trying to say, and look at all the formats, but engage with them all. I will also say, what's your cheesecake?
What do you think? Do all decision makers in marketing understand what's happening?
I think everyone's aware that this technology is beginning. It's at its very beginning. I don't think they fully understand how to employ it or how to engage with it. They don't understand what ROI might come of it, what the adoption rates are. So I think it's naturally this early days, too early to understand where it's going to go. And actually what the Unruly Home does, we have two...
Whoa! We're in the bubble.
Wow, we're in the bubble clouds.
We are in the tech.
Well, I'm going to use I need my windscreen wipers. I think we are in the early stages of voice, and I think the best thing to do is experiment with it. The thing I said about cheesecake, I need to explain that. Kraft dairy, they know that people aren't going to say to Alexa, I want to buy some dairy products, what shall I buy? But what Kraft did really well was they said, what's our number one selling product? Dairy Lee cheese. What do 10% people do with Philadelphia cheese, They make cheesecake. So they made a skill, and their brief was, let's own cheesecake. So I think that's clever. Be a bit more narrow with it. Try and create a voice skill around single product rather than around a whole range, and that's a smart bit of advice.
What do you think? Should decision makers in marketing play much more with new tech trends, with new gadgets, with new innovations? Because my opinion is that it isn't enough to see a presentation with 150 slides. They have to experience.
Well, that's why we built the home. Inside the home at Unruly, I should explain, we've built a 2,000 square foot home inside our HQ in Unruly. Brands come for an out of office experience, and in that 2 hours we show them really great AR, VR, voice, AI, computer vision using Google Lens. And what's amazing in that situation is, even though we're dealing with heads of marketing, you know, these people lead very busy lives, they're very busy in their jobs, and often they come to us and they go, oh my God, I haven't seen 80% of this stuff. The luxury of my job as a futurist and my colleague Elena is that we're employed to look at the greatest innovations, the latest uses of all these tech trends, and then show them to brands. But you might be showing something like BBC Civilizations, my new favorite AR app, which explores the world and it looks like the civilization of people.
I know that.
It's a great app, right? But that could be a rock band on tour of the world. That could be a travel company. These things are just tools and ways of telling stories. It's about how do you apply the tool to your story. And I think that's the great thing. I don't think they are aware. I think they need to come to the Unruly home and play with them. But you're right, there's nothing like experience. And sometimes it's hard to know where to find the latest experiences on what tech trend. That's what we do. Come and see us.
Man muss aber nicht unbedingt zum Unruly Home fahren, um neue Technologien zu erfahren und mit ihnen zu spielen. Man kann auch zum Digital Kindergarten gehen, wo ja Unruly dieses Jahr auch mit dabei gewesen ist und wahrscheinlich auch kommendes Jahr dabei sein wird.